All right. All right. Step one, get rid of this fucking trolling motor. Oh, I gotta find my freaking... Where's my damn thing? What's happening? We're working on the boat, getting ready to do the flooring in here. I'm gonna replace this carpet with some other decking. I got some new decking in. I'm gonna replace it. First thing I gotta do is go find my hey. First thing I gotta do is find my freaking extension for my drill, because I can't get the bit in there far enough to get the screws out. I'm going to take the trolling motor off and then take the lids off the hatches and start stripping the carpeting. What I need to do is clean this goddamn thing out before I start any of this, but I'm just going to start up there on the bow since it's already barely cleaned off. So the boat itself is a freaking disaster in here. I haven't cleaned it out like the last 3 times I've been out. So, all right. I don't know why I went this way. Yes, guys, I'm stepping on my trolling motor. I will be removing the trolling motor from the boat. Having issues with it. It's not working properly. So, therefore, it's more in the way than anything. I need to get her going until I can get a proper trolling motor put in. And it seems like some bitch. Okay. I guess it is bolted in from the bottom. These screws are just turning like there's nuts on the bottom of them. So for now, I think what I'll do is just take the trolling motor out of the shaft and see if that'll help me out, because this thing has been nothing but a problem. All right, let me see if I can get that. I ain't gonna want to slide out of there, is it? There it goes. All right. So, trolling motor is off. Whoa, shit. I just spilled my freaking drink, man. That ain't cool. Yeah, that's how much I hate this trolling motor. Even trying to get rid of it, it screws me over. So, that's off. Now, I think to get the bracketing off of here, I'm going to have to pull the panel for the bow stuff, all the bow switches, and get under there and unbolt it, which this is going to be a pain in the ass. You know, actually, I think it's out of the way enough. I think with the motor off, it's out of my way enough to do what I got to do. So what we're doing, guys, we're going to, I've already kind of started scraping a little bit of this stuff off here. The carpet, I'll show you guys in just a second here. You can probably see it in camera already. The carpet is just dead in the boat. So I'm going to take all the carpeting out of the boat and I'm going to replace it with some EVA foam. I'm also going to be, so you can see the hole here where the latch is supposed to go for the open and close the bin. So this model boat, they used a really fucked up size for the latch, right? Can't find them anymore. It was a make and model specific size. Nobody carries the size of latch that I need for this boat. And if you look now, if they were round, so I don't know how well you can see it, but they're more of like an oval, but the sides are straight, right? I mean, it's a nice straight cut for the sides. If they're rounded or ovaled, I could potentially find the proper deck latches, but because of the size of the hole and the shape of the hole, it was a make and model specific deck latch. Well, the company went out of business. Can't get them anymore. So now what I'm going to have to do, as you can see on this one, I got all the carpet scraped off of this lid. I'm going to have to take that lid off and finish sanding it down, and then I'm going to put some new foam in here, deck foam. So hey, Shoreline, what's up? It's going to be a process. I'm going to have to sand down all the carpet glue and all that, get everything off of here, get it nice and clean, get it back down to, these are metal box lids. So I'm going to have to sand everything down, get it all nice and clean so that the new foam that I have will stick. And I think it's going to actually look pretty badass, the coloring that I chose. Between the blue and the gray color I chose, I think it's going to look pretty sick. Actually, let me go grab a box of it, and I'll show you guys what I'm putting in. Give me 1 second here to go grab the box. All right. I got like 4 boxes of this stuff over here. And it's been sitting in the sun, so it's probably a little twisted up, but it's foam, so it'll actually, go back to the shape I need to once I lay it all down on the boat deck. So let me show you guys what I'm using here. The color choice I went with. I think it's going to look pretty dang good. So I got this. See, that's going to be a problem too, is that unless I order like massive full sheets, I'm going to have to cut every single one to a different size. But let me get it up here a little bit. I'll give you guys an idea of what it's going to end up looking like when it's done. So, it's probably easier to just take the camera out of the mount, huh? All right, so let me flip the camera around. So I'm going to be using this stuff, black and gray, and I think that's going to look pretty sick on the up against the blue. Now I know it's a little hard to see here in the shadows, but let me switch it over here so you can kind of go a little more. See, I think that'll look really good together once it's all done. And this stuff is, your hooks won't snag up into it if you now. Thank you, Grant. Appreciate that. Are we back? We should be back. Hello, hello, hello. Yep, we're back. Okay, cool. Grant, thank you. I appreciate that. I have 4 of these mics, and I grabbed one not knowing which one I used yesterday, and I didn't put them back on the charger when I got home last night, so obviously it was the other one. So this one's full. It should be good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because it's such weird shapes here, nothing's real straight. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take the deck boxes off, and I'm going to wrap those separately. And then last about 60 seconds. Okay. So what I was saying, I guess right before I cut out, was I got the black and blue. Hey, Cindy, welcome in. We're just over here jacking with the boat. I'm gonna be changing the flooring in the boat here, so starting the prep work and getting it all ready. It's too damn hot to fish. The water at the lakes is like up in the upper 80 degrees. Nothing's biting. So I figure while I got a few days where I'm not going to actually fish, might as well work on the boat, because I've been saying I need to do it for a long time. So anyway, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to end up taking the deck boxes off and wrapping those separate. And then it'll actually make it a lot easier for me to lay the flooring up on the deck, because I can get full sheets, well, almost full sheets up on the deck here with the boxes off and not have to worry about all of it. So I'm gonna run it. I don't know which way I want to run it yet. I think I want to run it this way so that my diamond pattern runs the whole length of the boat, and that way it'll all match up at the end when I get back to the stern. The stern's gonna be a bitch because I got like 5 lockers back there on the stern. The entire stern of the boat is just one big parcel of lockers. And the bim, well, I can flip the bimini up, but the stern's gonna be a bitch. It's gonna take a long time, just because, you know, all the lockers back there, and there's like little slivers. I'll actually use ends of cutoffs of what I use for the bow and the actual cockpit. Some of the cutoffs will actually be used on the stern between some of the deck lids, because they're like 2 inches wide. It's not worth using a full sheet for a 2-inch wide strip when I can use, you know, cutoffs of what I'm going to be using on the rest. Because so if I run it with a diamond pattern facing this direction, so it's facing, you know, basically in line, you know, bow to stern, all the diamonds will be pointing, you know, at the bow and back out to the stern. If I run it the other way, it's going to look funny. So, plus it'll take me more material to do it that way. But I'm thinking that by running it this way, I'm going to have, like right here on the steps, I'm going to have a good probably 8 to 10 inches of cutoff that I'm going to have to use, or that I can use, basically, for all of my little spaces between the deck boxes back there and the front edges. So, because there's a front edge on the deck box that's solid that doesn't come off with the boxes, so I'll be able to use all my cutoff for that. So I think what I'm going to end up doing in the long run is I'll do the bow and the stern the same color, and then I have 5 or 8 different, instead of the square cut pieces, I have a bunch of rolls. They're like 4-foot long rolls of this in different colors. What I think I might end up doing, just to give some contrast, because I'm going to be changing all my hatch levers out as well. Just to give some contrast, I think I might do a strip down the center of the boat from the steps back to the back seat, which is going to cover that center locker. I think I might do that in a different color so that it's, you know, super visible in case shit happens and I got somebody on the boat that is new to the boat, hasn't been on the boat, whatever, and we need to break out those life jackets or whatever. I think it might be a good idea to kind of delineate that box from everything else so it doesn't blend in case of an emergency. The steps I'm not so worried about. I would like a little bit of contrast in the steps, just so if we're out at night or, you know, whatever, you can kind of see the difference in the flooring and you'll know, hey, there's the steps. So you don't bust your ass going up or down them, especially if we're out in the bay, you know, where there's, you know, good momentum in the water, you know. But it's going to be a bitch to do all this. It's going to be a real bitch to do all this. I'm going to have to take the mount for the bow seat out up here. To do that, I got to remove the steps. They're on a hinge. So, and I got them hinged upside down anyway. They kind of stick up here. And I did that on purpose. That way, it was basically, I took these off to scrape everything off. And I took the steps off. And when I put them back on, I purposely put the square hinges upside down so that it was a reminder to me that, you know, I needed to actually take all this back apart and redo it the right way. So, because I was just basically, I put that foaming on there as a test to see what I was going to think of it. I mean, it's not even cut straight. It's not the edge cut at the top of the step is a huge gap. It looks like shit, but it was a proof of concept. So I really didn't care about the aesthetics of it. I was more looking for, is it going to work? So what I'm going to end up doing here is, I think I'm going to, I don't know if I want to pull the boxes before I scrape all the carpet, because if I do, then I'm going to be having carpet down inside the box and I have to clean them out, and I'm not doing the inside of the boxes. So I think I should probably just start scraping the carpet out of here and get this bow ready to do the foam. So let me see how much of a bitch this is going to be to scrape. Oh, it actually doesn't seem like it'll be that bad. This carpet's the original carpet, so it's, I mean, you can see that, like, getting the actual carpet fiber off ain't going to be bad. It's going to be, what's going to be a pain in the ass is going to be sanding on the glue. But this should come off pretty quick and easy. It looks like it's gonna. I mean, it's so old and it's been sitting in the sun for so long. I bought this boat from a guy out of Arizona, and he didn't have it covered or anything down there, so the sun just ate everything out there in the desert. But yeah, it looks like this is gonna come off fairly easy. I mean, look at that. Oh yeah, that's coming off nice. So I'm at the point now where I've scraped off enough that I'm pot committed. This boat's not going back in the water until this flooring's complete. Unless something happens and we get, like, all of a sudden some weird freaking natural occurrence happens that you know, all of a sudden the only fish that are biting are 15 pounds plus, and they're biting on freaking Cheetos, then I've officially just put my boat out of the water for a few days at least, just by scraping this little bit. But I got a lot of scraping to do before I can even get to the installation of the flooring. And even though this flooring I'm using already has a sticky back on it, it's like a big giant sticker, I'm still going to be using extra adhesive to hold it down. Because honestly, I used some of this flooring on the shower in my bathroom because, you know, we have our parents living with us and they're both fall risks. And I had a bunch of this extra flooring laying around because I'd ordered a bunch of other colors to see what color scheme I was going to end up going with. But I used this on the floor in the shower and just as like a shower mat kind of a thing, you know. And I've noticed that the glue is already starting to peel up on that, on the regular factory installed glue back on this stuff. So I'm going to use, you know, this is going to be getting a lot more beat up than my shower will. So I'm going to use some extra adhesive back here to make sure everything sticks. So once I get the carpet all scraped off, what I'm going to have to do, my hand's killing me already. What I'm going to have to do, I'm not sure what my FishBrain account is. I'm brand new to FishBrain, so I'm not sure, like, I haven't really paid attention how to work it all the way. But I'm on there somewhere. It's most likely going to be the exact same as my YouTube account. So I'm 99% sure it's the same name as my YouTube account. It's really storming out there now, huh? Nice. We could use that here. But yeah, so we're going to scrape this flooring out. I'm going to have to come back through with the sander and sand all the glue off. And then I'm going to use a separate adhesive. I'll probably use something like, I don't know. I gotta do a little bit more research to find out what's going to be the absolute best. But I'm going to get this flooring in here so that I don't have to worry about it for another 5, 6, 7 years. And then hopefully by that time we'll have a bigger boat. I want something that's ocean worthy. This is not. I could take this out to the bay and not have a problem with it, but I want to be able to at least get to the kelp beds and fish the kelp beds for yellowtail and halibut and whatnot. And this thing has such a low freeboard on it that I will not trust it in the water out there offshore. My bow only sits, 8, 9 inches off the top of the water in the lake. So, if I was out there on a glass calm day in the salt water and the wind came up and created some wind waves or whatever, there's a very good chance that this thing would nosedive, having a wave break over the bow. And that's not my idea of a fun day. So I kind of want to get something where I can get back out and fish the kelp beds again. And this would do it. If this boat sat higher in the water, it would do it. But as of right now, it's not a tall enough boat to get out to the kelp. Man, look at how easy that stuff's coming up. Man, that FishBrain app, every time I get a notification on there, it makes me look up because it's the default notification on FishBrain is reel drag. So every time I look up, I'm like looking for my rod going, oh, which rod's freaking getting hit? Even though I'm not nowhere near the lake. All right. See, this stuff is coming off really easy. The hard part's going to be sanding all the glue off without sanding through the freaking deck. And that part's going to suck. When I sanded the stairs down, it took forever to do the stairs. So I might have to go get some different. I might end up going get some sanding discs for my grinder and just using that rather than an actual sander. So, but oh sweet, okay. Yeah, it's gonna be nice when I'm done. It's gonna be a minute because it's 112 degrees out here right now. So I actually moved the boat under the tree here so I could have some shade. But because the boat's normally parked along the fence, and there's absolutely zero shade along the fence line behind me. So I moved it over here. And I mean, I've only been out here for what, 30 minutes? Hey, Jeff, welcome in. Been out here for 30 minutes and I'm already sweating balls. So, and I've barely done any work. I mean, I've scraped off what, like 2 square feet of carpet. So, but if I can get the bow section scraped off, you guys can see where right here, I'm going right along this line here because this deck lid, this seat, the base for the seat has got to come off so I can do this right. And then the other deck lid's going to come all the way off. And what I'll do on the other side on the deck lid there is I'll just take the whole thing off, take it out on the patio table, and scrape it. So that'll be not too bad. This deck lid, I've already scraped it, most of it. I haven't taken it off to do the edges, but that'll take 2 minutes once it's off. So, and then I'm going to end up replacing all the seats in here as well. I went and got a bid to reupholster the seats, and the reupholstery for the seats was more than I paid for the boat. So I can actually go and order new seats for like $600 for the entire boat. And I want to change it up anyway. That middle seat in the back folds up and there's a freaking live well under it. So I may end up taking the middle seat completely out anyway and just putting the 2 seats at the helm and then maybe 2 passenger seats. But I'm only going to fish 2 people on this boat ever anyway. So I don't really need those extra 3 seats in the back. It's not like I take my boat out and go drive in circles around the lake. That's not my thing. If I'm on a boat in the water, I'm going to fish. I got the post that I can screw in on the back to pull skiers and all that, but that ain't me, man. I'm not going to go water skiing, wakeboarding, none of that shit. It just doesn't sound fun to me. It's not my thing. If I want to go skiing across something, I'm going to go hop on the dirt bike and go fucking skiing across the desert at 100 miles an hour. Other than that, man, the boat's made for fishing, not, skiing. So, I mean, it is the FS model, which stands for fish and ski, but, I have zero interest in water skiing or tubing or any of that shit. I don't have kids. I don't ever plan on having kids. So, and it's not like I'm going to go put the boat on autopilot and water ski behind it myself or something, So I'll never tow anybody on any device behind this boat. So it's not even worth having the ski stuff in it. So, but I'm going to take going to end up taking the seat out, the front seat out. I don't like this seat. So this seat is supposed to be like a great little bow seat. It's uncomfortable as shit. I think if I had a post that was like, I don't know, double the height where I could just kind of lean on that seat while I'm up throwing jigs or whatever. But as far as just a seat to sit on while I'm up there fishing, it's not comfortable. The seat on the back of the boat is way better than the seat on the front. The seat on the back actually has a seat back, and it's basically a patio chair with no legs. As I'm looking at it, I can see one of the bolts is coming out of the seat. So I'm pretty sure that's from Dad stripping it out. He tends to wobble all around in that seat. Every time he's up there, that seat's like leaning because he I don't know what he's doing, but he's not centered in the seat or something. So I'm always thinking it's going to break that seat off, and it looks like he's already started to. So that's one more thing to fix. But we'll get there. I'm going to start at the bow, and I'll end at the motor. Hey, Lewis, what's happening? We're out here scraping the carpet off the bow of the boat, getting it ready for new flooring. It's too damn hot to fish. The fish aren't biting because of the heat and the water temperatures. Not to mention that they've dropped the lake level 9 feet at my home lake. 9 feet doesn't sound like a lot, but when you lower an entire lake by 9 feet, that's a lot of water missing. Especially when the lake was already low. So 9 feet's a lot of freaking water to lose out of a lake. All right, so let's see how hard this is going to get to come off. Oh, this is going to come off easy. All right. Yeah, that'll come off there real easy. Perfect. I'm kind of half tempted to, well, there's a lip there. I was half tempted to just leave that seat post there. Or not the seat post, but the mount, the base mount for the seat. I'd just go right over the top with the new flooring. But there's a little bit of a lip there, so I'm gonna have to take that off and set it back down over the top, I think. Or let's see. Let me scrape a little bit of this out and see real quick. I might be able to just cut a hole and lay it right over. I don't know. I got to figure out how I want to do that section. I need a better scraper. Let me see here. I think this might actually be the same thickness. It's the exact same thickness. So maybe what I'll do is I will just go over the top of that. Well, no, I'd have to build up. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I don't want to, I mean, I'll have enough that I could patch in if I were to cut a hole, or go over the top. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think the mussels can live without water for a minute, but I'm not 100% sure. I know that at my home lake, every time I drop my boat in there, we do an inspection. All they do is they make you drop the motor down, make sure there's no water coming out of the motor. Then they walk around the boat, make sure everything's clean and dry. And by clean and dry, I mean like, no lake weeds, nothing out of the lake. If your boat's dirty, like my boat's dirty as shit. It's parked under the tree and I didn't put the cover on it the last couple of weeks. So it's dirty as shit. Just debris and whatever, but they make sure there's no pond scum or weeds or anything like that hanging off your boat or your trailer. And as long as everything is clean and dry, you're fine. You're good to go. The lake that I fish is absolutely no live bait allowed. So normally they'll check your live wells to see if you have bait in there, but they don't check mine because I've told the guy like 4 or 5 times that my live wells are all just storage, and he understands that now because I don't use the live well. I don't keep any fish, and if I do use live bait, I have a little bait bucket with an aerator that I put them in. I mean, I could use the live wells, but it's not worth it. the little aerator quicker and easier to get to. If I'm up on the bow, I can bring it up here with me, and I don't got to run all the way back to the stern to get a new bait every time if I'm fishing the bow. Then if you're fishing the stern, it's a pain in the ass because usually your feet are on the lids for the live well, so you got to get up and move, and it's just, if you're fishing a bass tournament, it'd be one thing, but I'm not fishing bass tournaments. I'm not one of those guys. I'm more anti-tournament than pro tournament, so but I might actually try to sneak some live bait into the lake next time, because what I can do is I can put my little aerator bucket in the truck, and once I get down to the launch ramp, there's nobody down there. So, as I'm throwing all my shit in the boat, I just throw that bucket in there with the bait, and I'm good to go. Now, they're used to seeing that bait bucket because I leave it in the boat, and every time they do the inspection, they see it. So I could probably even leave that bucket sitting right where it's at, because, the guy at the lake knows me. We're on a first name basis every time I check in there. So, and he just does the inspection on my boat now out of technicality, because they're on camera there. They have to do it, like the office and the parking and all that's under video surveillance. So when they see me come in and they fill out, I fill out the paperwork for the boat launch, he's got to go out and check it unless I have a tag on my boat, which basically what they do, if your boat's tagged, they take a big, long, almost like a zip tie thing that goes from your boat. They clip it on the bow where you hook your winch line into. They clip it from there down to your trailer so that you can't take your boat. It's a little thin steel cable, almost like you'd find on your meter on your electrical box. It's the same kind of little tag. But they clip your boat to the trailer with that tag so that you can't take your boat on and off the trailer without cutting that thing, which tells them that if you show up and that tag's intact, it's got their name on it, and they know that you haven't put the boat in the water anywhere else. Well, it takes longer for them to come out and cut the freaking tag off than it does doing the inspection. And then if I want to tag it, every time I leave the freaking lake, I got to stop at the office, wait for him to find somebody to come out and tag the boat. When I'm done, I'm done. I want to freaking load up the boat, pull it up onto the trailer, strap everything down, and drive home. I don't want to have to stop at the office and wait 20 extra minutes for somebody to tag my boat. So I'm not worried about that. I'm fine with doing the inspection. But I could probably just take the bait bucket, turn off the aerator while I'm waiting, and they wouldn't even notice the bait in the bucket. So what I'll probably do, though, is next time I go to that lake, I'll probably go get some crawdads, and I'll just keep them in the truck in a backpack or something. I'll put them in a bag in the truck while I'm checking in, throw them in a backpack, and then I can go out and throw them in the live well that's under the seat. Because crawdads don't need as much circulation as the shiners would, so I can get away with those a lot easier. And I really think it'd be fun to fish that lake with crawdads. I'm sure I'd get some big bass and crawdads up there. Now, right now it's so hot, it's not even worth going up there. The lake water's up over 80 degrees in most of the lake. It's up to like 84 to 86 in some spots down in the shallower ends, and that's just not conducive to bass. Plus, they've just dropped 9 feet of water level, as well as they had an algae bloom because when they turned on the aerator when it started getting warm, nobody had done any maintenance on it through the year, and there was some broken stuff, and it didn't work properly, so it ended up causing more damage to the lake than good in the end. So I think my next step here is going to be to take this deck box off, which is going to be a bitch. I'll finish scraping the bow first, and then I'll take the boxes off. And then it's on to sanding. The sanding is the part that's going to suck. Sanding all this down to get it nice and clean and smooth for the new flooring is going to really suck. But I'm really surprised at how easy this stuff's chipping right off of here. But it's been in the sun for so long that it's pretty much all dried out and ready to come off. I mean, it's coming off by itself anyway. That's why I'm redoing it. I just need to, I should have got out here early this morning when it was still cool. But I figured, you know, I need to do a live. I need to be consistent with my live videos and stuff. So I figured, since I'm not fishing today, might as well come out and work on the boat a little bit. And at least keep the content going. Because I'm trying to get my watch hours up as well. You know, everybody thinks that like the subscriber count is key and all that, and it is, but the watch hours, guys, are what really helps out people that do YouTube lives. And I've been saying this for a while now. It doesn't matter what YouTube, I don't like calling them creators, but what YouTube channel you watch, if you're mostly watching their lives, that does help. But if you like the channels that you're watching, do them a big favor and go watch the other content on their channels. Their shorts, their long form videos, you know, whatever else they got on the channel, go watch some of that. And even if it's, you know, I got some stuff on my channel that I'm sure a bunch of you guys aren't into. Because like I said, my channel is SoCal Outdoors, and I'm not just a fishing channel. I do hunt and do a lot of off-roading and desert riding and all that stuff. But even if you're not into that, you know, it does help the channel when you go watch those other videos of the other genres of stuff that I post. And that goes for every single YouTube channel that you subscribe to. You know, go watch some of their stuff, make comments on stuff. You know, if you don't leave a comment on a short or whatever, you know, leave a like, because it does help the channel a lot. It helps them a lot. You know, I try to go through and watch everybody's shorts as they post, and if I don't leave a comment, I try to leave a like. But you know, at least go help out the channels that you like, you know, because it takes a lot of work to keep a YouTube channel going. I didn't realize how much dedication it took when I first started doing this. You know, if you're only putting out like a video or two a week, you're not going to get anywhere. And trying to make videos, it's difficult because the way I do my channel is I don't want to go out and like stage a bunch of shit. You know, I want reality. You know, my desert videos that I do, those are straight up just all raw footage. I don't edit anything. The only thing I do edit is length. You know, because most of my desert videos are 3-4 hours long by the time I'm done shooting it, and I'm just posting the raw GoPro footage. So I'll edit it for length, you know, and that's it. You know, because I know nobody wants to go watch a 4-hour freaking video of me riding through the desert. So what I'll do is I'll take out like a 10-12 minute section and post that, or make a short. But you know, there's no editing other than the length of the videos. So I try to keep all my video raw. Even when I clip shorts out of my live videos when I'm fishing, I try to keep those, you know, straight up exactly as they showed on the live. You know, I'm not gonna I'll add music and things to like some stupid videos. You know, like I got a couple videos of my dogs. I fed them a piece of what was it? It was that cake from Costco, and I forget who was talking about it, but whoever told me about that cake, that cheesecake birthday cake thing from Costco, fuck you, because now I'm addicted to that shit. I'm gonna end up gaining 100 pounds because of that damn cake. And I forget who it was that told me about it, but my God, that shit's good. It's like a regular white cake, like a white birthday cake with this like really good buttercream frosting, but the filling is cheesecake. And cheesecake is like, that's my thing. I love me some cheesecake. All right. So this is going to be kind of a bitch to get all this off down here. I'm not going to be able to get the sander down in here. I'm going to have to scrape it by hand or go buy a smaller sander that can get in here. Because there's a good, I don't know, 1.5 inch gap where the deck lid closes against. So I couldn't figure out why my deck lid wasn't closing all the way. I just found it. That's a lure that I found in a lake. It's actually a really nice plastic swim bait, but it's been sitting up here so long it's freaking dead. But now my deck lid closes all the way. So yeah, there's this big gap, and I'll take the camera over here in just a second and show you. Once I get a little bit of this out so you can actually see it. But there's these gaps. Let me switch it around so you guys can see. So you see those gaps all the way around there? That's going to be a bitch foam to fill in the proper way. Son of a bitch. Thanks, guys. I don't know how I did that. So, what's the last thing you guys heard me saying, talking about? How long was I muted? Was I just rambling on to myself about nothing for a while? Oh, what I was saying was I was talking about the lake inspection. So Whisker Biscuit was talking about, you know, not having an inspection on the lakes out there. The reason they do that out here is because of the quagga, the zebra, and the golden mussel. The mussel is extremely invasive, and they repopulate at such a rate that they can actually destroy an entire lake. They basically live on the vegetation in the lake, and they'll form massive colonies on the brush piles, the weeds, all of that. I was saying there's a few guys out here in Southern California that do YouTube content. Dominic Doan is one of them. He is he's a pretty good what are the words I'm looking for? He's pretty highly ranked on the California kayak bass fishing, the KBF tournaments. And he's real good friends with another buddy of mine who for a couple years was ranked in the top 5 in California for the kayak tournaments. I know that, I remember it was 2 years or 3 years ago, he was actually labeled Angler of the Year in California. He got Rookie of the Year his first year fishing the tournaments. He's been invited to a bunch of the big like Bassmasters kayak tournaments, you know, the invite only tournaments. Dominic's a good friend of his. Dominic does a channel out here, and I'm not exactly sure what Dominic's channel is. I think it's just Dominic Doan Fishing, but I may be wrong. You'll see Dominic in a bunch of his videos where he'll get on a nice big fish, and all of a sudden, gone. His line is cut in half, and it's because of the quagga mussel. And you can hear him every time. It's funny in the videos. You hear him every time. He tries to keep it PG friendly, but you'll hear, you know, once in a while, you'll hear him like, God, that fucking mussels. Because what they do is those mussels are like little razor blades against your line. So you lose a lot of gear to those mussels, but they deplete a bunch of the stuff in the lake as well. You know, oxygen, a bunch of the microbes and the zooplankton type stuff that some of the smaller bait fish feed on. The mussels feed on that as well. So that's why we have the boat inspections out here, because those things are so invasive and they breed so quick. They'll overpopulate a lake in under a year. There's 2 lakes out here in San Diego I know of that do not have that mussel. And those are the 2 lakes that do the boat inspection every single time you go there. As a matter of fact, if you guys were watching yesterday when I was fishing Lake Cuyamaca, they have a policy where anything that you're going to contact the water with, wash it before they'll allow you to launch your watercraft. Whether it's a boat, a kayak, a canoe, a float tube, it's a mandatory $10 washing fee, and they will pressure wash whatever it is that you're putting in that water before they'll allow you to put it in. And they wash it down with, like, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but from what I was told, there's a solution in there that basically kills the mussel. So I won't take my boat up there to that lake that I was at yesterday. I mean, I'd love to. It's a small little lake, but the road getting in and out of there is freaking hairpin turns the whole way. And I don't want to chance pulling the boat and the truck up there, because some of those corners I know I'm going to have to take them wide, and it's 1 lane up, 1 lane down the hill, and a lot of them are blind corners. So I don't want to have to take those corners wide to make the boat be able to get around that corner behind the truck and end up having a guy on a motorcycle coming around the corner at the same time. I hit him head on and kill him. It's the last thing I want to do. So get my boat up there is, I mean, I can do it. People do it all the time, but it's sketchy. It's not a fun drive. So it's a beautiful drive. It's a fun drive without the boat, but with the boat, it would be pucker factor 12 the whole way. Because there's literally hairpin turns on that road where even in the truck without the boat, I got to make the turn wide because the road's so narrow. And if the boat goes off the side of that road, it's going to pull you in the truck all the way down the freaking side of the mountain. And that to me doesn't sound like a fun day. So let's see. I gotta keep checking to make sure my chat doesn't freeze. I gotta scroll it every once in a while because it does freeze. So anyway, guys, I know this is more of a boring live than I usually do. You know, I'm usually out fishing. But but it's been so hot that the fishing's been really dead lately. The other day when I took the boat out, actually came home with the beginning stages of a heat stroke. It was 112 degrees out there. I had absolutely zero shade all day. Even though I drank 2 gallons of water that day. But even so, just the heat alone, I came home. By the time I got home, I actually felt sick. Stomach was churning. My head was freaking throbbing. I had the worst headache in my life when I got home. I ended up sitting in the cold shower for like 45 minutes, just trying to cool my core temperature down because it was so absolutely hot out there. So I figure I'm going to wait a little bit till I get the boat out. So I might as well get out here and do some of the stuff to the boat that I've wanted to do for a while anyway. I've had the flooring sitting here for a few months, and it's just been sitting, kind of getting in my way. So I figure I might as well come out and actually start working on it. And, if I'm lucky there, I'll inspire my buddy there, want to see my rod, to get out and do the electrical stuff on his boat. And I know he's got the Starlink coming, and he's got to get all that electrical figured out. So hopefully him seeing me working on my boat inspires him to get out and do what he's got to do on his boat. Now I know that's kind of a low priority for him because he's got a whole bunch of other stuff going on. But hopefully he gets out and gets it taken care of. Because I want to see him fish some of these spots, man, just for the factor of where he's at. Some of these places he fishes are absolutely beautiful. If you guys don't follow him, you need to go check out Wanna See My Rod. Wanna is with 2 N's, WANNA, See My Rod. And he's on YouTube, does freaking awesome content. I will say, if you're looking for him on YouTube, all of his words are every word in his name, the wanna, the see, my, and rod, are all capital. The first letter of every word is capitalized. So I'm sure it'll show, I'm sure no matter how you type it into YouTube, you should be able to find him. But he's got this underwater camera that he uses, and it goes on his line. So the camera's watching his lures, and he's been posting some of that footage. You guys need to go watch that. Freaking phenomenal. I've actually learned quite a bit about fish behavior from those videos. I never knew how often fish would come up and check out your lure and either absolutely rail it or just turn and go away. And those videos that Rod's been putting out, man, I can't thank him enough for those because they're phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to see more come out. And then the spots he fishes, you guys, he's in central Montana. And I'll tell you what, man, he's fishing a postcard photo every time he goes out fishing. Man, I've only done this little bit and I've already got a blister on my freaking palm. I should be wearing gloves doing this, but I ain't even with the gloves. Because this scraper is like sliding around my hand a little bit. And it's just kind of like wearing a blister into my hand. But I think I'm almost at a point here where I can take off the deck boxes. Damn it, why did I lose service right there? I haven't moved. I lost service and everybody bailed out. Oh well. Oh well. It is what it is. I guess my fat ass blocked the camera or something when I went over to the other side of the bow. I don't know. But I haven't moved, and all of a sudden I lost cell service. Which just goes to show that it's just one of the drawbacks of living out in the middle of nowhere like I do. All right, I think I have enough of this off that I can actually sand and start doing the decking here. It's gonna be a bitch, but it'll work. I already got a blister going on my hand from that scraper. The end of it's kind of rounded, so it kind of like slides in your hand a little bit when you're trying to scrape. I should have wore gloves, but that would have been going and digging through my fucking fuck show of a garage right now trying to find my gloves. I went from when we bought this house, I went from a 3-car garage to like a half-car garage out here, and my 3-car garage was already chock full of shit. So I actually had to put a shed up out here to accommodate the overflow from the garage. But I need to go through the garage and get rid of a bunch of shit. I've been in this house a year and a half, and there's stuff in the garage I haven't even used. So I figure if I haven't used it in a year and a half, I don't need it. You know, now I do have some specialty tools and stuff in there that, you know, I'm going to keep because when you need them, you need them. But a bunch of other stuff in that garage, I don't need it. I don't really need it. I need to be able to get into the garage and work on the dirt bikes because desert season's coming up. So there's a video on my channel here. I think it's titled like ripping the 450 through the backyard. I'd show you the backyard right now, but I'm in the front yard and you can't see it over the house. Well, my backyard, my back gate opens up to thousands of acres of open land. And I take the dirt bike out there once in a while and go ripping around through the back. Last time I was out riding in the backyard here, I completely, utterly destroyed the back rim on my dirt bike. I don't know what I hit. I don't know if it was a hole. I know I hit a couple big holes out there, and I did hit a few rocks. So between the holes and the rocks, I just annihilated that back rim. It's not even safe to ride. I don't know how it made it home. So I got a brand new back rim still in the box. It's been too damn hot to, you know, break it all out and switch it over. So I also can't find my tire spoons. They're in a mess somewhere in my garage. But I need my tire spoons to be able to get my tire off the old rim and put it on the new rim. So that'll be a project for another day though. But desert season's coming up. Me and a buddy of mine that I ride with, really cool dude, good friend of mine. We've actually been going out. We haven't gone this summer because just life. You know, he had a brand new baby. He started his own business. He's been killing it. Dude's been absolutely freaking. I'm so proud of the guy. He started his business and it's just absolutely crushing it on the workload. Like he's actually had to decline work because he's so far backed up now, which fucking amazing. So proud of the dude. But him and I would usually, like last summer, he would pick me up, I live farther west than him last summer. So I would meet him at his house at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And we drive from his house down to the desert. And we ride from sunrise until, 9 or 10 in the morning when it got too hot. And we'd pack it up and come home. This summer, we haven't been able to do that. So come winter time or fall, when it's, reasonable temperatures down there, we're going to be hitting the desert like crazy. And you guys are going to see some bitchin' rides. Both him and I have street legal dirt bikes. So we can go ride state parks and get off on trails that you can't get onto on a vehicle other than, dirt bike. And you can't get in there on a regular dirt bike. It's state park, so you have to have a street legal vehicle. So we'll be showing you guys some bitchin' stuff down there as well come fall. So, all right, I got this almost all the way scraped off. I need to clean this out, get all this scraped up carpet out of here so I can see where I stand. Because there's going to be some little furries here that didn't get scraped off. But let me get this all piled over up on that side, closer to the trash cans, and then I should go in and grab the broom and the dustpan real quick so that I can sweep this off and see what's going on here. So give me a quick second, guys. I'm going to do that. I'm going to run inside real quick and grab the broom and the dustpan, and I'm going to grab a drink as well. I'll be right back with you. All right, sorry guys. I had to go fix the ice maker again. Somebody decides that somebody, I'm not going to say any names, my mother-in-law, keeps messing with the ice maker and screws it all up. So I had to go fix it again. I wanted to go get ice and no ice would come out. Whew, all right, it's flipping hot out here. I checked the temperature in the backyard. It's 117 out there. Weird thing is, it's a little cooler out in the front yard than it is the backyard. But I think it's because I'm hanging out under this tree. So, there's 80 of you guys still watching. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Good to know that you guys are hanging out, watching me mess around with the boat. Trying to get it. I've been wanting to do this work on this boat for a long time, so now that I'm not going to be taking it out for a minute because of the heat and the low water, I figured it's the best time to start. Because at least if I only get the bow done, then I can still fish it once the water temperatures are right. But right now it's just too flipping hot. You know, with the water temperature being in the high 80s, almost 90s in some parts of the lake, it's not even worth going out. The fish aren't biting. They've dropped 9 feet of water out of that lake since the 5th of the month. So between the temperatures, the loss of water, which means a loss of structure, all kinds of stuff for the fish, it's not worth even wasting the gas in the boat to go drive it around. I just went to scrape that in there by hand. I got a big old freaking piece of something as a splinter. Okay, so look at all this dirt. This is all just dirt that's scraped. That's like got through the carpet. That's why I don't like carpet in my house, because I know what's under it. Doing home remodeling and that kind of stuff for so many years, you know, you tear carpet out and you see what's under it, and you don't even want to be in the same room. Absolutely disgusting. If you're getting sick a lot at home and you can't figure out why, it's probably all the shit built up under your carpet. It's like respiratory issues. A lot of times it's going to be all the shit in your carpet. You think you get it out when you vacuum, but you really don't. Take the handle off this brush and make it easier on me. So once I get a bunch of this swept out of here, I'll show you guys what the next step here is going to be. Because I'm going to have to actually get in here with the sander and sand all of this down now. Which you'd think like, oh, why are you getting all the dirt out before you sand it? Well, I don't want to sand the dirt into it. Although it'd probably help, you know, get the stuff out of here. But so, gosh, it's like never ending. You just go get the shop vac and do it. So what we're going to end up with after I sand this out And this is fiberglass up here, so this won't be as bad. I'm going to have to, basically, I think I'm going to use carpet glue because I can trowel it on. I was going to use the spray stuff, just go that route, but I don't know. So let me take the camera out of the cradle here. Now, around. So now that the carpet's out, see all these ridges? I got to sand all this out so it's nice and smooth. And it's still, like, if you feel it, it's still furry. You know, it didn't get all of the carpet off there, but it got a lot. So I'll sand all that out now. And basically, I'll lay my flooring in there, get my patterns all cut, and then I'll spread the glue and put the flooring in. And that should, theoretically, look pretty damn good once it's done. So, and then I got to do the rest of the cockpit, and I got to redo the stairs. I'm going to do the back deck. It's going to be a long process. Oh man, that water is so good. So I'm going to have to, I think what I might try to do is, if I can make it work, if I can build the glue up enough around that thing, I might just cut a little hole in the flooring and slide it right over the top of that base mount for the post, because the post just screws in. The post, it's threaded like that on the bottom, so it just screws down in. So hopefully, I don't know, hopefully that works. But it does stick up. That's about the same thickness, that the difference in the post and the floor there, or the base and the floor, is about the same as the thickness of the flooring. So either way, this thing's going to look so much better. I think that gray with the blue is going to look really good once it's done. And then I've got 5 or 8 different rolls of the flooring in different colors. I think I'm going to do the stairs and the center hatch in the actual cockpit in different color to kind of delineate where each hatch is in the center, because in the center hatches between the seats, between the helm there, is all my life-saving equipment. You know, my throwable, my life jackets, my oars, all that. So I want that to be like clearly visible to anybody that's on the boat, just in case something happens. You know, God forbid somebody goes overboard. I want it to be even just that more bright and in your face that this is where everything is. Now, it's usually going to be just me, my dad, and my wife on the boat. But I always have a fear of Dad going over, because he's not too steady on his feet anymore. And, you know, rocking around on the boat, there's a very good chance that he does go over. Plus, he fishes that chair back there most of the time on the stern. So if I'm up here fishing the bow and I'm looking out towards the front, you know, I'm not going to know he goes over until I hear the splash. So there's somebody else on the boat. I don't want him to even have to think about where the life jackets or the throwable are at. I want it to just stand out. So, but now the next step is go get the sander out, sand all this smooth, and then while I'm in here, there's a little bit of fiberglass patch I want to do, just little chips here and there on the inside. They're not going to affect anything. Like, you can see one right back there. Let me zoom in on it. Like that one right there where the anchor's been hitting a few times. I just want to kind of patch those just in case, you know. And I figure while the flooring's out, might be the best time to do it. So anyway, guys, I've been on live for an hour and a half. I know this has been a really boring live for y'all. You've just been watching me scrape the flooring out of the boat. Hopefully you guys had a good time hanging out, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this live and go inside and fill up my ice bucket with more water and hang out in the air conditioning for a bit. So I might go back on the live later. It's what time is it now? It's 2 o'clock. I might take the dog over to go swim in the pond in a little while. And if I do, I mean, he's been bugging me all day. Like every time I go to the door to come outside, he's like right there, like at the door, which I know for a fact he wants to go over there and go swimming. Otherwise, he wouldn't be, running into the door every time I get up and go near it. So I might take him over and swim in a little bit. If I do, I'll jump back on the live. Look at all that dust that just blew out of here once the wind gust. So anyway, guys, on that note, thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Like I said, go check out some of the other content on the channel. Watch some of the shorts, some of the long videos. There's a video in there that I did while I was all medicated after my shoulder surgery. It's way back in the videos. But it's called From Dirt to Hurt. It was my first attempt at editing a long form video, and it was pathetic at best. I was, hopped up on post-surgical medications when I did it. I did it like the day after my surgery, so it's pretty shitty. But right about the 12-minute mark of that video was where you see me crash. And that crash is what did my shoulder in and made it to where I can't even throw a football nowadays. So if you guys want to see a really bitchin' crash and my reaction to that crash when I crashed, it's in that video titled From Dirt to Hurt. It's a longer form video, but there's some really cool other shit in there. The video starts out with me on the dirt bike, with the GoPro on the chin mount with my, it's basically a point of view of me riding parts of the race course. And then it cuts into just other parts of desert racing and some stuff in the Jeep. And then you see me crash. And that crash was, you'll probably end up rewinding that crash about 9 or 10 times and watching it because it was pretty funny. At the same time, it was pretty freaking brutal. I've probably watched it in slow-mo 5 million times. If you slow the speed down real slow on the video, you can see when I go past the handlebars there during that crash, that you catch a real quick glimpse on my speedometer. It shows 19 miles an hour. So even a slow speed, I absolutely throttled my shoulder. So highly recommend checking out that video. And then there's a bunch of other stuff too where it'll give you a preview of what's coming up for deer season here. But I got some videos where I was actually live out in the deer woods. And then I got some shorts and things like that out in the deer woods. There's a few where I was out there deer hunting and came across cattle where I was like 20, 30 yards from the cattle and wish I had a cow tag so I could have shot myself a side of beef. But anyway, not only my channel, guys, but every channel that you subscribe to, go check out the rest of their content because that really helps the channel. So hitting the like and the subscribe or whatever does, a little bit. But what really helps the guys that are out there putting out YouTube videos and grinding it out is when you actually watch their other content and leave a comment on some of their other content as well. So not only does it show them that you appreciate the work they're doing, but it helps YouTube understand that you appreciate the work these guys are doing. So anyway, guys, on that note, thank you guys for being here. I'm going to call it. It's 115 out here in the front yard. I'm going to go in and sit in front of the air conditioner for a little bit, drink some more water, and then decide if I'm going to take the dog down to the pond to swim or not. And if I take the dog over to the pond, I will definitely fire the stream back up and hang out with y'all while I'm swimming with the dogs. So to the 11 of you that are still here, thank you. Appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on the next one.